you never take me on dates. And I'm like, fuck you. We go on dates. Like, what are you talking about? But like, it was like more from felt like an attack on things versus hey, I would love it. I would love it if you took me on a cute date. I'm like, oh shit, she loved that.
Or saw this cute restaurant.
Yeah, I'm going to jump through hoops to make that happen for her.
50-50 guy is going to be like, oh, it's really hot when you do that.
Watch her start doing more.
Yeah, when you make decisions, when you decide what we're going to eat and you know, that's hot. Like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, when I feel like you're providing for me, when I feel like you're taking care of all the things and I can just be in my feminine, it really turns me on, gets me like, oh yeah, that's how you're going to get a guy.
Watch out for these gold diggers and you know, you don't need it. Like, that was just me.
Living out of scarcity.
I was the same way, but the woman version. And I said the same thing. Like, I would watch stuff that we do now and be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But that's why I think it's a lack of knowledge from people. And hopefully, even if they haven't met their perfect person like we've met, you know, ours, that they can still listen to what we're saying. I know that they're afraid of controlling men. That's a big fear that's pushed on women. But I think women also need to have the confidence to know that they know what a controlling man is, because they have definitely encountered one at some point versus the kind of man that we're talking about.
100%. And like, and have your wits about you, you know? Like, I've been in a controlling relationship where it was just like, whoa, like this is, and where it was disguised as like, I'm trying to be masculine, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But it's like, no, you're like micromanaging me in a very toxic way, right?
Right.
Versus like, with John, like, I'm fully empowered to be, you know, my own person, but also one within the relationship.
Right.
And it's like, come on, guys, like, let's use some common sense here, you know? Like, if it's an apple, it's an apple. Or like, you know, just...
Yeah.
Like,
you will know the difference.
You will know the difference. Like, there's a little voice inside of your head, like, that tells you, this is not okay.
Right.
And this is right.
Right.
You know? And... having that honest, true, like, inner monologue with yourself, an inner conversation with yourself to be like, am I happy right now? Am I in a safe space right now? Because there is that worry, right? Within a traditional relationship about the control. And it's like knowing, no, you're in a safe space, you know? And a lot of women, you know, me personally, have come from like abusive homes, you know? And or abusive relationships or whatever it might be. And relinquishing that like control or like whatever can be daunting. It could be scary. It could be traumatizing. But knowing like when it is the right person, knowing when it comes from a good place. You just have to know that it is the right person, right? And internally, your heart's going to know.
Trust your intuition.
Trust your intuition, women. Like,
because it's the right person.
It's the right person.
Because the thing is, you know, because guys sometimes mess up, and women will often use the words controlling and insecure because that really will cut a man. To you know, because many times guys will say things like to try to put boundaries and say, I don't think it's a good idea for us to be going out or to be going out with the girls to a bar, you know, that type of thing. And, oh, you're being controlling, you're insecure. And it's like, no. In that case, again, it comes down to the guy. You know where this guy's coming from. Another guy could say, oh, no, you can't go to, like, where are you going? Like, you know, and being controlling of everywhere you're going and what you're doing. And that's a different man, right? That's coming from a different place.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it does come down to like, if you do you trust this person?
Yeah.
If you trust him, then you know that where it's coming from.
100%.
And I think when you were talking earlier about how like women that maybe aren't in a relationship that are listening here and they're like, okay, I want to find that. And you're like, oh, you should hold that maybe expectation when you're going on a date that you're going to find a man that is going to take care of things. You know, I think women should hold standards in that way. I think there's also like women out there that are in relationships that should like right now up their standards.
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by that is like if you're with a man who's like not living in his masculine and you're kind of having to like battle with him all the time and you're having a 50-50 on everything and like that man is struggling. Like his best self isn't who he is right now. Right. And he might just need you to like ask for more. like rely on him more so that he can step into that masculine role and like push himself to be a better man. I think
read The Empowered Wife, haven't you?
I haven't yet.
You haven't read it? That's essentially like what she tells women to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. She has it on her Kindle. I haven't read it yet, though.
But that's essentially what she tells women to do to men. And a lot of these women are the ones that we're talking about that have gotten like more masculine dealing with these guys. And it's hard for them to relinquish that control. But you're spot on because that's what she says to do.
I think that coming from Sabrina, right? Like as we've been together for off and on for 7 years ish.
Yeah.
Well, and like together steady for 3 years.
Together for reals for 3.
But, and I would say in the last year or two, maybe a year and a half, I've like really started stepping into a lot of my own self-development, getting into, I read The Way of the Superior Man, most recently Masculine in the Relationship. I've like started to dive into a lot of my own, mindset coaching around, masculine and feminine energy and the way to like see true success in my relationship. And as I've been learning these things and implementing them in my relationship, like she's also been pushing me to, to be that. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had our trials and tribulations throughout our relationship, like within the last few years, but it's the beautiful like fact, like even if you're in a relationship currently, like, we've been together for officially now for 3 years. Before that, we were friends with benefits. And like, I would like kind of like tiptoe around these things around you.
But then when she started asking for things, I'm like, shit, let me make that happen.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and when you're tiptoeing around it or like, and it depends how you ask for things. If you're like, hey, I want this.
Yeah. And I would like kind of attack you. I was like,
she'd be like, you never take me on dates. And I'm like, fuck you. And then we go on dates. Like, what are you talking about? But like, it was like more from felt like an attack on things versus hey, I would love it. I would love it if you took me on a cute date. I'm like, oh shit, she loved that.
Or saw this cute restaurant.
Yeah, I'm going to jump through hoops to make that happen for her. And so I think for people that are in a relationship but maybe aren't feeling like the polarity that they would like, I think it's like you can make it happen. I think a man can step into his masculine and then his woman's going to be more feminine. A woman can ask for the things that she wants out of a man and can relax more into her feminine and like show that feminine side, and the man's going to he wants to see more of that.
And that's
so he's going to provide to make that happen.
Right? Like I see on social media like women talk about like, oh, now you're just like, like bowing down to the patriarchy or whatever, and it's like, no, I'm literally.
We always joke.
Oh, we do have this joke.
People say like, "Fuck the patriarchy."
I was like, I am fucking the patriarchy. No, but like,
it's true. People say it's like it's a bad thing. Patriarchy is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Like fatherly taking care of people. That is the goodest thing that there can be.
It. Like you guys are talking about it, and again, I'm so glad you guys are talking about it, especially like telling women that it's okay to want things because
it's powerful.
Well, and if you want it, then your man is gonna most likely make it happen if it's like the right man for you.
How powerful is it for me to be like, babe, I want this, and then boom,
yeah,
like and then I just got what I wanted, and
you like vision board stuff, and I'm just like, oh shit, like. It drives me to want more for us too.
Yeah.
It's like
women will always be more powerful than a man because if that 100%. Woman makes that man as powerful as she can by supporting him, she can still get him to do whatever she wants at the end of the day because she can just say, and again, it shouldn't be used in a manipulative way, but it's so easy to get a man to step up by saying, it's really hot when I get really turned on when you do this, I really want this. This would make me so happy.
Yeah.
Those are the things to say. And even the most 50-50 guy is going to be like, oh, it's really hot when you do that.
Watch me start doing more.
Yeah. When you make decisions, when you decide what we're going to eat and that's hot. Like, oh, okay, yeah. When I feel like you're providing for me, when I feel like you're taking care of all the things, and I can just be in my feminine, it really turns me on, gets me like, oh yeah, that's how you're gonna get a guy to.
Well, I think there's people that would disagree with us on everything we're talking about right now, and I think those are people that just aren't owning their roles in the right way. Because once you do, because I would have pushed back on this too back in the day, like when I was like kind of brainwashed by current society. I was like, oh no, like you got to be careful and watch out for these gold diggers, and you don't need it. Like that was just me
living out of scarcity.
I was
like,
the same way, but the woman
like,
version. And I've said the same thing. Like I would watch stuff that we do now and be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But that's why I think it's a lack of knowledge from people. And hopefully, even if they haven't met their perfect person like we've met, you know, ours, that they can still listen to what we're saying.
If they haven't met their perfect person, they shouldn't worry about meeting their perfect person. They should worry about becoming the best version of themselves.
You're right.
And then once they do, like the rest, you know, the universe takes care of it.